Watch out on the left, going to put the fight-ins in fighting. This dad gets the ball for his kid. Nice family moment. What? Until she decided to ruin it. She said, I saw it first. The ball wasn't even in her row.
In this now viral moment caught on camera.
A Phillies Karen has reportedly been hit with a lifetime ban from all MLB games after snatching a ball from a young fan during a Phillies matchup. The viral clip that spread everywhere didn't just spark outrage online. It may have cost her the chance to ever step foot in a major league stadium again. And hey, before MLB bans me for even talking about it, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what happens next. Do you want me to roll straight into section 1, the viral moment that started it all, now?
A Karen decided it was a good idea to steal a home run ball from a little boy.
And now, I'm sure a lot of you have already seen the clip, we have this Karen at a Phillies game steal a baseball from a kid.
It all started with what should have been a wholesome ballpark memory. The Phillies were in the middle of a heated game when a foul ball rocketed into the stands. Fans jumped to their feet, kids reached out with gloves, and for one young boy, it looked like his moment had finally arrived. The ball sailed right toward him, a perfect souvenir. But in an instant, everything changed. Out of nowhere, the woman now known as Phillies Karen lunged in and snatched the ball away before the kid could grab it. Cameras caught the moment perfectly. The boy's stunned face, the gasps from the crowd, and the unapologetic grip she kept on the ball as if it was hers by right. The stadium's reaction was immediate. Boos echoed, people shouted, and some even pointed fingers. Within minutes, clips of the incident were being shared online. On Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube, fans uploaded the footage and the comments were brutal. The narrative was clear. This wasn't just a ball grab, it was a public act of selfishness, and the internet wasn't about to let her forget it. That one quick decision, stealing a ball meant for a kid, didn't just spark a viral clip. It lit the fuse for a controversy that would explode far beyond the ballpark.
For clowns making absolute fools of themselves at sporting events in the stands.
Sometimes you need that reset. Oh.
And Bader just unloads on this one, deep left field, and that one is gone as Bader.
The clip spread like wildfire. By the time the game had even ended, the moment was already all over social media. Fans in the stadium uploaded it from different angles, and sports accounts wasted no time blasting it across Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. Within hours, Phillies Karen was trending nationwide, with thousands of comments flooding in from people who had never even watched a Phillies game in their lives. The internet did what it always does. It judged fast and harsh. Memes mocked her, calling her the ball snatcher, the fun police, and even worse names that can't be repeated. Edits of the clip circulated with dramatic music, some comparing her to movie villains, others freezing on the shocked kid's face for maximum impact. People weren't just laughing at the incident, they were furious. And that outrage didn't stay online. Commenters began digging into her personal life, trying to find her social profiles, her job, even her family. Some users claimed they recognized her from around Philadelphia, and whether true or not, it fueled a tidal wave of harassment. Suddenly, her private life wasn't private at all. Her family felt it too. Neighbors gave her sideways glances, her kids were teased at school, and grocery store trips turned into whispered exchanges and not-so-subtle insults from strangers. What had started as one clip in a stadium had turned her into a walking meme, and not the funny kind. She became a symbol of everything people hate about Karens: entitlement, selfishness, and arrogance, whether or not she actually fit the stereotype. The speed of it all was staggering. One day, she was just another Phillies fan in the stands. The next, she was the face of internet outrage, a target for millions of people who felt personally offended by a baseball grab. And as the memes piled up, her reputation was being destroyed in real time. But the storm didn't stop with insults and ridicule. The more attention the clip got, the bigger it grew, snowballing until major outlets picked it up. ESPN ran the story. Late-night hosts joked about it. Even international news sites jumped on the viral train. By then, Phillies Karen wasn't just a local scandal. She was a global punchline. And while the world laughed, the pressure on her kept building. That was when she decided she wasn't just going to sit back and take it. She was going to fight back in a way no one expected.
For most people who go viral, the outrage eventually dies down. The internet moves on, attention shifts, and yesterday's scandal becomes old news. But for Phillies Karen, that never happened. The memes didn't slow down. The clips kept getting reposted. Influencers recycled the footage for clout. YouTubers racked up views breaking it down, and TikTok creators built entire skits around mocking her. To her, it wasn't just a funny viral clip, it was a nightmare that wouldn't end. She claimed the attention cost her her job, her dignity, and her peace of mind. Every time she opened her phone, there was another reminder that she wasn't just a random fan anymore, she was the fan, the one who stole the ball from a kid, the one the world decided to roast endlessly. And that's when she made a move nobody expected. She fought back in court. She didn't just file a complaint against one or two people. She went all in. According to reports, she targeted Major League Baseball itself, arguing that their broadcast cameras turned her into a villain. She also went after Twitter, TikTok, and even influencers who reposted the clip, claiming they profited off her humiliation while she was left to pick up the pieces of her life. Her lawsuit argued that what happened to her wasn't just online bullying, it was exploitation. That single viral clip, she said, destroyed her reputation, stripped her of her career, and put her family through emotional distress. She wasn't just humiliated, she was digitally branded in a way she could never escape. And now she wanted accountability. Legal analysts were stunned. On one hand, many dismissed the case as hopeless. Platforms like Twitter and TikTok had powerful shields under Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act, which basically protects them from liability for content posted by users. MLB, on the other hand, had decades of legal experience dealing with public footage from stadiums. From the outside, it looked like she was taking on giants with little chance of winning. But here's the thing, her case also raised uncomfortable questions. If she was right, if corporations and platforms could profit endlessly from a viral clip, while the subject of it was ruined, what did that mean for everyone else? Could any one of us become the next viral villain and lose everything because of a few seconds on camera? That's why her lawsuit didn't just spark laughter, it sparked debate. Some people doubled down on mocking her, calling the legal move Karen behavior on steroids. Others, though, quietly admitted she might have a point. Maybe the system really was broken. Maybe it was trying to rethink how viral culture worked. And while all of this played out in legal filings and media commentary, another rumor began to surface, one that would push her story even further into uncharted territory. MLB wasn't just fighting her lawsuit. Behind the scenes, they were reportedly preparing something that would hit her where it hurt most, her right to ever step inside a major league stadium again.
Up until this point, most people thought the Phillies Karen drama was just a viral meme paired with a long-shot lawsuit. But then whispers started circulating. MLB wasn't going to sit back and let this controversy play out in court or on social media. No, they were ready to make an example out of her. The reports claimed that MLB officials have been closely monitoring the situation. While Karen painted herself as a victim of viral humiliation, league insiders allegedly saw her actions in the stadium, ripping a ball out of a young fan's hands, as unacceptable conduct that crossed the line. Baseball has always prided itself on being a family sport. The league banks on the nostalgia of kids catching their first foul ball, parents creating memories in the stands, and the feel-good moments that end up on highlight reels. What Karen did was the complete opposite of that image. And so the rumors swirled. MLB was considering a lifetime ban. That phrase, lifetime ban, is rare in sports. Usually it's reserved for extreme misconduct, players caught betting on games, individuals tied to cheating scandals, or fans who posed a serious threat to safety. To even hear Karen's name mentioned in the same breath as those cases shocked people.
But for MLB, the calculation was simple. Her actions didn't just hurt a kid in the stands, they tarnished the league's reputation. Every time the clip went viral again, it wasn't just her being mocked, it was baseball that looked bad. If the reports are true, the decision wasn't made overnight. MLB allegedly weighed the PR fallout carefully. On one hand, banning her forever risked looking cruel, like the league was piling on to someone who was already the butt of every joke online. On the other hand, not banning her might look even worse, like the league was condoning selfish, aggressive fan behavior in stadiums. When the whispers of a ban first hit social media, reactions were split. Some fans celebrated, saying it was about time MLB cracked down on what they called Karen culture. Others thought it was an overreaction. Sure, she embarrassed herself, but was a lifetime ban really necessary? One thing was clear. MLB's rumored move wasn't just about punishing Karen, it was about setting a precedent. Stadiums are full of viral moments waiting to happen, and the league wanted to send a message. If you embarrass baseball, there will be consequences. Of course, Karen's legal team immediately pushed back. They argued that banning her for life only proved her point, that she was being scapegoated and turned into a symbol rather than treated like a human being. In their eyes, MLB wasn't protecting the game, they were exploiting her downfall to protect their brand. And while the debate raged on, the question remained: was this the end of Karen's fight, or just the beginning of something bigger?
If the viral clip made Karen infamous and the lawsuit made her controversial, the rumored lifetime ban turned her into a full-on cultural lightning rod. Suddenly, it wasn't just baseball fans talking about her. It was everyone, from sports analysts to late-night comedians, influencers, and even casual viewers who had never watched a Phillies game in their lives. On Twitter, the responses came in waves. Some users cheered the decision like it was poetic justice. Finally, MLB got it right. Actions have consequences. Don't steal from kids. This isn't just about a ball. It's about basic decency. Ban upheld. Others saw it as classic overreach. Imagine getting banned for life over a baseball? Karen or not, that's ridiculous. She was embarrassing, sure, but a lifetime ban? That's excessive punishment for clout. The conversation quickly spread to TikTok, where creators reenacted the moment with dramatic flair, complete with wigs, exaggerated screams, and captions like, "When MLB bans you for stealing a foul ball." Those skits racked up millions of views, adding fuel to the fire. Sports talk shows latched on too. Some pundits argued that MLB had no choice. One commentator compared it to Pete Rose's gambling ban, saying baseball protects its image at all costs. Doesn't matter if you're a Hall of Famer or just some fan in the stands. If you embarrass the sport, you're out. Others laughed at the comparison, insisting it was absurd to put Karen in the same category as legendary scandals. But in the age of viral clips, the line between silly internet drama and legitimate sports controversy was blurring fast. The division wasn't just about punishment, it was about what the story represented. To some, Karen was the ultimate cautionary tale. A selfish moment, caught on camera, spiraled into global humiliation and permanent consequences. To others, she was an example of how the internet and corporations could destroy someone's life over one mistake. Even celebrities chimed in. A retired player tweeted, "When I was a rookie, fans used to fight over foul balls all the time. Social media just makes everything bigger now." Meanwhile, a popular YouTuber quipped, "Phillies Karen has a harsher punishment than most cheaters in sports history. Let that sink in." The more people debated it, the less the ban itself mattered. Karen had become a symbol for entitlement, for cancel culture, for corporate overreach, for viral infamy. Everyone projected their own opinions onto her story, which kept it alive long after most scandals would have faded. And through it all, one question lingered in the background. Would Karen herself respond publicly to the ban? Or would she retreat further into silence while the world argued about her fate? Up until now, most of the noise surrounding the Phillies Karen saga came from outsiders, fans, pundits, influencers, and MLB insiders. But eventually, she herself stepped forward. And when she did, her message was simple: I'm not the villain you think I am. In interviews and legal filings, Karen painted a very different picture than the one that went viral. She insisted that the clip didn't show the full story. According to her, she hadn't snatched the ball out of the kid's hands the way everyone believed. She claims she had simply reached for a foul ball like anyone else would, and the camera angle exaggerated what really happened. She even suggested that the boy's family played into the narrative for sympathy once the clip started spreading online. In her words, "I never wanted to take joy away from a child, but I also don't think it's fair that I've been made into this national joke." Karen described how quickly her life unraveled after the incident. She said strangers flooded her social media with insults, calling her everything from selfish to evil. She claimed neighbors avoided her, coworkers mocked her, and eventually she lost her job because her name had become so toxic. What to the internet was a meme, she said, was for her a devastating collapse of her reputation and livelihood. Her lawsuit's filings went even deeper. She argued that MLB and the broadcasters had responsibility to protect fans' privacy. By zooming in on her and replaying the clip repeatedly, she said, the league turned her into a spectacle without her consent. She called it public shaming on a corporate scale. Some people sympathized. They pointed out that plenty of fans fight over foul balls, yet only she became a target because the cameras caught her at the worst possible angle. Others accused her of dodging accountability. They said she wasn't a victim of unfair coverage, she was a victim of her own choices. But Karen wasn't backing down. She made it clear that she wasn't just fighting for herself. She claimed she was fighting for everyone who could become the subject of a viral pile-on. In her own words, "If this can happen to me, it can happen to anyone. All it takes is a camera and a bad second." To her, the lifetime ban was injustice. It was proof that MLB and the internet were conspiring to bury her. And she vowed to keep fighting, no matter how ugly the backlash got. Of course, whether you believe her depends on which side of the debate you're on. Was she a misunderstood fan who became an easy target? Or was she exactly what the viral clip suggested, a Karen who made a selfish choice and faced the consequences? By the time the lifetime ban rumors hit the mainstream, Karen wasn't just a fan who made a bad decision. She was a headline. News outlets picked up the story with dramatic flair, running segments with titles like "Phillies Karen, the foul ball villain," and "Lifetime ban, fair or excessive." Her name became shorthand for a specific type of behavior, and soon it wasn't even about her anymore. It was about what she represented. Talk shows dissected her every move. Morning anchors chuckled while replaying the clip. Sports radio stations fielded hours of calls from fans who either defended her or demanded her permanent exile. Even podcasts outside of sports, political shows, comedy podcasts, culture roundtables, weighed in, using Karen's saga as a case study for bigger issues like internet pile-ons, cancel culture, entitlement, corporate PR strategies. In other words, the Phillies Karen story became less about baseball and more about America itself. For some commentators, she was a symbol of selfishness in an era defined by viral outrage. The phrase, "Don't be a Phillies Karen," started circulating as a kind of joke warning online. Even parents joked about telling their kids, "Remember, always share, unless you want to end up like Phillies Karen." But on the flip side, other voices pushed a very different narrative. They argued Karen was a victim of a broken system, where humiliation equals profit. Every meme, every clip, every news cycle kept generating clicks and ad revenue, while she was left to live with the fallout. To them, she symbolized how easy it is to turn a private citizen into a caricature for mass entertainment. This divide created a perfect storm of media coverage.
Karen wasn't just in the news, she was the news. She was trending on Twitter week after week. TikTok skits under hashtags like Phillies Karen racked up tens of millions of views. YouTube channels produced hour-long breakdowns titled things like The Rise and Fall of Phillies Karen. Even late-night comedians couldn't resist. Monologues joked about how Karen's punishment was harsher than some actual MLB scandals, with punchlines like, "Steal signs, get a fine. Steal a ball from a kid, you're gone forever." The more people laughed, the bigger she grew as a cultural figure. Not because of who she really was, but because of what she represented. She became a stand-in for entitlement, humiliation, and punishment in the internet age. And in the middle of it all, one crucial question kept resurfacing. Was Karen just unlucky to get caught on camera, or was she the perfect villain for a society addicted to outrage? While memes, jokes, and hashtags kept the internet buzzing, the real showdown was happening in court. Karen wasn't about to take her humiliation lying down. Her lawyers filed a sweeping lawsuit, not only against Major League Baseball, but also against multiple social media platforms and even individual influencers who profited off her viral downfall. At first, it sounded absurd to most people. How could one fan sue billion-dollar corporations just because she went viral? But then the details started leaking, and things got messy. According to court filings, Karen's team argued that MLB had a duty to protect her privacy, that networks deliberately replayed the clip to boost ratings, and that social media platforms allowed harassment to spiral unchecked, all while making money off her face and name. Legal experts were divided. Some scoffed, calling it a desperate cash grab. Others admitted that if even a fraction of her claims stuck, it could open Pandora's box for future viral stars. Imagine every embarrassing meme, every cringeworthy TikTok, every Trump fan caught on the Jumbotron, suddenly becoming grounds for a lawsuit. It was a nightmare scenario for corporations that rely on viral content to drive engagement. Behind closed doors, MLB lawyers braced for impact. Leaks suggested they were terrified of one thing: precedent. If Karen managed to win even a partial judgment, it could snowball into a flood of lawsuits from fans who felt exploited after their viral moment. To MLB, this wasn't just about one Karen. It was about protecting the entire system. Meanwhile, Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube leaned heavily on Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act, their legal shield against being held responsible for user-generated content. Their strategy was simple: bury her in motions, drag the process out, and hope public opinion turned against her even further. But Karen's camp wasn't backing down. They staged a press conference where she appeared visibly shaken, her hands trembling as she read a prepared statement. That night at the Phillies game, I didn't just lose at baseball. I lost my dignity. I lost my career. I lost my freedom. Her lawyers doubled down, presenting her as the human face of digital mob justice. They argued this wasn't just a lawsuit, it was a cultural reckoning. Who gets to profit from humiliation? Where's the line between public interest and exploitation? The stakes couldn't be higher. If Karen won, the ripple effects would reach far beyond baseball. But if she lost, it could cement her as nothing more than a punchline, a permanent cautionary tale. And just when it seemed the case couldn't get any more chaotic, a surprise witness entered the picture. Just when everyone thought Karen's lawsuit was about to fizzle out, a revelation flipped the entire case on its head. A former sports broadcasting employee stepped forward with testimony that shook the courtroom and reignited the internet's obsession. According to this whistleblower, the infamous foul ball clip wasn't just a spontaneous viral moment. It was deliberately replayed by networks multiple times to boost ratings. In their words, "We knew that clip would go viral and we leaned into it.
Every replay, every slow-motion zoom, every highlight package, it wasn't an accident. It was strategy. The claim was explosive. Suddenly, Karen's case no longer seemed like a desperate attempt to escape accountability. If the testimony was true, she wasn't just a random villain in a viral circus. She might have been used as a pawn in a bigger game driven by corporate profit. The courtroom buzzed. Reporters scrambled to get the story out. Social media detonated once again, splitting into two camps. Supporters argued this proved Karen had a point all along. She wasn't just being dramatic about her ruined life. Corporations had intentionally turned her into a spectacle for money. Critics fired back, calling it a weak conspiracy theory. To them, it didn't matter if the clip was replayed. Karen had still stolen a ball from a child, and no amount of behind-the-scenes strategy could erase that. But the whistleblower didn't stop there. They hinted at internal discussions, alleging executives joked about Karen's viral potential before the memes even caught fire. One line supposedly read, "This is gold. Keep showing it." If that document ever surfaced, it could change everything. The implications were massive. If MLB or its broadcasting partners were found to have knowingly exploited her humiliation, Karen's lawsuit would no longer look frivolous. It would look groundbreaking. It could shift the balance of power between ordinary people and corporations profiting off viral outrage. The internet was hooked once again. Conspiracy videos popped up on YouTube, dissecting every frame of the clip, suggesting subtle edits or commentary cues that proved the networks milked the moment. Hashtags like Karen was set up and MLB exposed trended, while skeptics mocked the movement with memes of tinfoil hats. For Karen, this was both a blessing and a curse. The new attention gave her case momentum, but it also dragged her deeper into the spotlight she claimed had destroyed her life. Once again, she was everywhere. The news, the feeds, the jokes. Her face wasn't just tied to the ball incident anymore. It was now entangled in a narrative of conspiracy, exploitation, and greed. And the real question became, had Karen stumbled onto a culture-shifting case, or was this just another viral twist destined to burn out? The bombshell witness testimony lit a fire across the country, but instead of settling the debate, it only sharpened the divide. For some, Karen's fight became bigger than a baseball. She was a mother, a wife, and now a symbol of how ordinary people could be chewed up and spat out by the machinery of viral outrage. For others, she remained exactly what she had been from the start, the woman who stole a baseball from a kid, full stop. On one side, hashtags like Justice for Karen and End Viral Exploitation began to surface. Strangers who once mocked her now admitted they felt uneasy. Was the internet too cruel? Had we gone too far? People began sharing their own stories of humiliation online. Photos they wished they could erase, clips that resurfaced years later, private moments turned public without consent. Karen's lawsuit, they argued, wasn't just about her, it was about everyone. But on the other side, critics doubled down. Late-night comedians mocked the idea of Karen as a victim. Sports fans filled comment sections with lines like, "Play stupid games, win stupid prizes, and she deserves the ban." Memes only grew sharper, painting her as entitled, manipulative, and even greedy for pursuing damages. The debate stretched beyond sports media. Sociologists, legal analysts, and cultural commentators chimed in. Some called it a modern-day witch trial, others said it was accountability in action. Even parenting blogs weighed in, with headlines like "The Teachable Moment Behind Phillies' Karen." The tension was clear. This wasn't just Karen versus MLB anymore, it was a national referendum on viral justice. Was she a scapegoat or a selfish villain? Was the punishment fair or a reflection of society's addiction to humiliation? The more people argued, the more Karen's name stayed in the spotlight. And with the trial looming, public opinion wasn't just noise. It had the power to sway everything, from jury perception to corporate settlement strategies. For Karen, every new headline was a reminder of the paradox. The more she fought to escape her viral identity, the deeper it pulled her in.
For weeks, the rumors swirled. Was Major League Baseball really going to drop the hammer? Or was the talk of a lifetime ban just a way to calm the outrage? Then, seemingly out of nowhere, MLB made it official. A statement surfaced confirming that the woman the internet had dubbed Phillies Karen was indeed barred from attending all future MLB games. The language was cold, almost clinical. Following review of the incident and its aftermath, Major League Baseball has issued a lifetime ban to the individual involved. No name was given, but everyone knew exactly who they were talking about. The fallout was immediate. Sports news outlets blasted the announcement across their front pages. Fans debated fiercely online. Some cheered, calling it a victory for fairness and a warning to anyone who thinks they can ruin a child's moment. Others argued it was overkill, a punishment harsher than what actual athletes had faced for cheating scandals, substance suspensions, and off-field controversies. The clip of Karen grabbing that ball replayed once again, this time framed as the defining moment that ended her baseball fandom forever. On Twitter, people joked that she had been sentenced harder than Pete Rose. On TikTok, creators staged dramatic reenactments of security guards escorting her out of future stadiums, set to sad music. But beneath the jokes, the seriousness of the ban couldn't be ignored. A lifetime ban meant she wasn't just persona non grata in Philadelphia. She couldn't attend a single MLB event in the country ever again. No more ballparks, no more games, no more chance at redemption in the sport she once loved. Karen's legal team immediately responded, blasting the decision as retaliatory and disproportionate. They argued the ban wasn't about justice, it was about silencing her lawsuit and making an example out of her. According to them, MLB wasn't protecting kids or fans, they were protecting their bottom line by crushing the one person bold enough to challenge them. The internet had its own take. Some saw it as poetic justice, the ultimate karmic punishment. Others worried that if the league could ban one fan over a viral clip, who might be next? The story had officially reached its climax. A fan turned villain, now exiled from the game forever. But if MLB thought the lifetime ban would end the storm, they were wrong. The lifetime ban didn't just punish one fan, it sent shockwaves through the culture. Almost overnight, Phillies Karen stopped being a local scandal and became a national talking point about fairness, fandom, and the way society handles viral justice. Sports talk shows debated it endlessly. Was this a much-needed stand against bad fan behavior, or was MLB overreaching to protect its image? Some hosts applauded the decision, arguing it would deter selfish stunts in the stands. Others compared it to a corporate overreaction, pointing out that players caught in actual scandals had received lighter penalties. The story spread beyond sports. News outlets tied Karen's ban to broader issues like accountability, cancel culture, and the consequences of going viral. Culture commentators noted how a single moment of selfishness had permanently rewritten her identity. She wasn't a woman at a Phillies game anymore. She was Phillies Karen. A cautionary tale. On social media, the fallout was even more intense. Hashtags like KarenBan and TooFarMLB trended side by side, with fans split down the middle. Some created TikToks mocking her as the most punished fan in sports history, while others posted long threads about how easily any ordinary person could end up in her position if a camera caught them at the wrong time. Even parenting blogs and lifestyle outlets weighed in. Articles popped up with titles like, "What Phillies Karen Teaches Us About Sportsmanship," and "Can You Ever Escape a Viral Moment?" Suddenly, her story wasn't just about baseball anymore. It was a morality play about public shaming and second chances. MLB itself came under scrutiny too. Critics pointed out the irony of a league that had weathered steroid scandals, cheating teams, and player controversies suddenly drawing the line at one overzealous fan. Others argued it was a calculated PR move, a way to control the narrative and signal that MLB takes fan behavior seriously in the era of social media. Karen, meanwhile, doubled down on her lawsuit. Her legal team calling the lifetime ban proved that MLB was punishing her not for what she did, but for daring to fight back. The conversation spiraled into something bigger. When the internet decides you're guilty, can you ever come back? From one foul ball to a viral clip, from internet memes to a courtroom showdown, and finally to a lifetime ban, the saga of Phillies Karen shows just how far one moment can spiral in today's world. What started as a split-second grab at a baseball has now become a cultural lightning rod, raising questions about fairness, punishment, and the power of viral outrage. For some, Karen will always be the selfish fan who ruined a kid's memory. For others, she's a symbol of how quickly the internet can destroy someone's life while corporations profit from the fallout. But no matter which side you're on, one thing is undeniable. Once the internet decides who you are, escaping that label may be impossible. And maybe that's the real lesson here. In the age of cameras everywhere and memes that never die, anyone could become the next viral villain. Before the next controversy hits, make sure you're subscribed, because if the Phillies Karen saga proved anything, it's that the internet never stops looking for its next target.